capabilities allowed it to see things invisible to the human eye. In this case, the glow of hydroxyl or OH radicals. These molecules are the broken fragments of water ripped apart by sunlight. And what Swift detected was a massive surge in those hydroxyl radicals. At a distance of 2.9 astronomical units, nearly 3 times the distance from Earth to the Sun, 3i Atlas was dumping water at a rate of 40 kilograms per second.
Alright, I love Astrum. It's like one of my favorite things to watch. I really get into their page, and if you ever get a chance, you should go and check it out. He talks about all kinds of stuff all the time, and it's really entertaining. But if you ever want to learn anything about the stars and the universe and stuff, this is like one of the things that I like to do all the time. I think one of the most interesting videos that I've seen from him was probably whenever he started talking about the weird egg-shaped planet. I love stuff like that. I also play a lot of, what is it, Solar System Simulator or whatever it's called. I can't even remember what it's called anymore. I don't really pay attention. But, there's all kinds of stuff to learn about whenever it comes to the solar system, man. It's ridiculous. And, how big the universe is. It's just always been interesting to me. So, what came to this conclusion?
Have you ever wondered what space sounds like? I know...
The reason why I'm doing this specifically is because I decided that I should try to do something that I enjoy and just take it in that direction and see where it goes. So I'm going to try and do some of this for a little bit and hopefully get around to getting my hands on a dwarf system, which is basically just a really good camera that's going to let me see into... the stars really well, so I can take pictures and it like auto stacks and stuff. But anyways, enough of that. I'm just gonna get to the Astrum. This guy's really good, and I'm probably just gonna sit here and chill and watch this until I'm ready to stream some Dragon's Dogma. So enjoy.
I know sound can't travel through a vacuum, but that doesn't mean the universe is silent. Quite the opposite, filled with different vibrations just waiting to be decoded. Through a process known as data sonification, scientists can turn data on plasma, X-ray, and even gravitational waves into something we can actually hear. In past videos, we explored the haunting sounds of Saturn, Earth's magnetosphere, and the Sun's solar flares. But today, we're heading headfirst into the most terrifying sounds space has to offer. From the ghostly wail of a passing comet, to a growling supermassive black hole, to the echoes of a black hole collision from 5 billion years ago.
I still haven't fixed any of the stream stuff yet. I don't know what I'm doing with it, to be honest.
And what do their sounds teach us
you're stuck with
about
ads.
the cosmos?
How do I turn that off?
We're about to find out.
I need to turn that off.
I'm Alex McColgan, and you're watching Astrum. Join me today as we tune into 4 of the scariest sounds in space. We'll explore how scientists have captured these bizarre sounds and why they matter.
Hey, how do you turn off ads? I need to turn that off.
As the saying goes,
like, this channel
in space,
is not ad-worthy.
No one can hear you scream. That's because sound waves require a medium to propagate, and vacuums are, well, mediumless. But other kinds of waves, such as radio, plasma, X-ray, or gravitational waves, can be converted into audio through data sonification. But the results are more than just cool sounds. Each audio clip carries distinct and important information about celestial objects and phenomena such as solar winds, pulsars, and black hole collisions. Just as data visualization lets scientists spot patterns more easily, sonification allows researchers to detect
looking
patterns,
through Twitch settings
trends,
for the last
or
2
anomalies
hours. It feels like
complex data sets.
You
You might have seen one of my videos about sound in space before.
You had
they
to
mainly
have
focused on planets and the sun. But today I'll be sharing newer findings from more obscure places, like the first successful probe landing on a comet, and a supermassive
This
black
one's actually
hole
pretty
in
interesting, the
Perseus
successful
cluster.
land on the comet. So this comet actually rotates, or
Before we get
goes
there,
around the
our
Earth,
first
orbits
stop on
it
this
quite
audio
often,
tour is a little
And
closer
what it
to
does
home.
is that it swings
If you've been
all
watching
the
this
way
channel for a
around,
while,
let's see here. Hold on. Let's see if I can pull out a sketch pad or something. Notepad? No. How about paint? Yeah, here we go. Paint. So this is actually really cool. So what it does, right, is that, let's say this is the, oh shit, that was absolutely horrible. This is the Earth, okay? And here is the comet, right? So its path, let's see, so let me get a little bit of that. Comet, okay? This is the comet, and this is E-Earth. E-Earth. Yeah, you see that? So what the comet does is that this little guy actually goes like this. He comes really close, and then he goes all the way back out again. And he does that all the time. And this one loves to just sit here and go like this. And every year, it's getting closer. So that's cool, right? The fact that it's getting a little bit closer every year is just awesome, right? Don't you just love that? Oh god, I can't see your chat anymore. All I see is... Fuck. How am I supposed to get... Man. It is so hard to get this to stay the way it's supposed to be. I can't see your recent chat there. I had it set up to where the hotkeys would just bring it up over the top, but now it's kind of just doing this bullshit. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah. You know, that actually makes a lot of sense now. Anyways, I'm going to continue.
You might remember my video on the sounds of Saturn. Here I want to focus on its spectacular rings, one of the landmarks of...
Ooh, here's a cool one, actually, about Saturn's rings. I'm not gonna, like, interrupt constantly, I swear, because I really like this guy. But, about the Saturn rings, right? This is Saturn, kind of. It's kind of Saturn. You know what? Where's the perfect circles? There we go. Okay, Saturn, okay? We'll go ahead and do Saturn, okay? So this is Saturn, and then you got its rings, okay? The thing about Saturn's rings is that they're very different. Yeah, so you got Saturn, you got its rings. But I like the butt circles. It's funny. Listen, I can't draw circles on paint, alright? I just can't draw circles, period, as a matter of fact. But you got Saturn and you got its rings. Now, here's the interesting part about Saturn, right? So its rings, and most people probably already know this, but this is just because I'm trying to come up with something to talk about. Its rings are completely covered in just... It's all rock and, like, electrons that are kind of, like, moving rapidly around. It's crazy, actually, how it works. So he's better explaining it than this, but I'll go ahead and show you that, actually. Yeah, he's
our
better
solar
explaining
system.
it than I am.
Saturn's rings are made up of countless particles of rock and ice.
Yeah.
Most of these particles are electrically charged, mainly due to the ionizing effect of solar radiation.
That's why it has such a
Saturn's
strong
magnetosphere is also
electromagnetic
filled
field.
with charged particles, which are free to move, interact,
Our
and
field
form
is like
other complex phenomena. They aren't
similar to
fixed
this,
in one
but
place.
nowhere near as strong.
In a nutshell, when charged particles in Saturn's rings interact with the plasma
They also
in
make
its
really creepy
magnetosphere,
noises.
they experience what's known as the Lorentz force. This force makes particles spiral around the magnetic field lines and create oscillations in the plasma, also known as plasma waves. In 1997,
Yeah, they
NASA
make
launched
tons
the
of creepy
Cassini
noises.
probe to study Saturn up close.
It's actually
One
really
key
great.
part of the mission
That's
was to explore Saturn's ring
This
plasma
video is about the
interactions
scariest
more
sound
deeply.
in space, so
As the spacecraft
You've
passed
actually
through
probably,
Saturn's
I'm
ring
pretty
system,
sure you've seen
its
most of
radio
it.
and
No, it's
plasma
not
wave science
silent.
instrument
You've seen
recorded
most
the
of it
waves
before.
produced by the charged
You know what it
particles
sounds like.
in the rings. This instrument is incredibly sensitive. So sensitive, it detected lightning in Saturn's atmosphere from thousands of kilometers away. Saturn's thinnest rings contain dust particles just
I love how he uses
200
CGI for this
nanometers
too.
large.
It
the
really
size
gives
of
you
a
something
virus.
to look at, which is nice.
When these dust particles collide with the instrument's detector,
Oh no, they actually make
their
their own
impact
sounds
creates
entirely.
tiny
So the
puffs of
interesting thing about the sounds that come from space is since it's a vacuum and sound can't travel, right? They have to use like extremely low frequencies to pick up the audio themselves. And those frequencies we can't hear with our own ears. It has to be upscaled by scientists to actually create the sound that we hear on screen, which is really nice. It's actually, like I said, pretty creepy, but... What? Yeah, we are gonna pretend this star
the
still
plasma
exists.
impacts are then
I
converted into sound.
I love the
allowing
universe
scientists
and the
to
idea of
hear
everything.
the
To be honest,
electromagnetic interactions
I just
taking place.
I'm super into
the
it, and
results
my
are
whole goal is to
completely
like
eerie.
actually get into
It feels
astronomy
like the
fully.
kind of
That's gonna
thing
be like
we
the whole
as
channel.
humans aren't even supposed to hear.
I'm gonna probably
Here,
try to get my
have a
hands on
listen.
one of the dwarf scopes that uses like AI to upscale. Okay, there's the noise.
Audio through data sonification. But the results are audio through data sonification.
Oh man.
But the results are more than just cool sounds. Each audio clip carries distinct and important information about celestial objects and phenomena such as solar winds, pulsars, and
We're
black
made of
hole collisions.
stardust.
Just as data visualization
yeah, that's what
lets
I've heard.
scientists spot patterns more easily.
I honestly, I would give
allows
anything to
researchers
get my
detect
hands
patterns,
on a
trends,
meteorite.
or anomalies
Just like one
within
that isn't
complex data
exactly
sets.
from this
You might
specific
have
solar
seen
system.
one of my videos
You know,
about sound
I know
in
that that's
space
probably
before.
never going to happen,
They
but it would
mainly
be so
focused
cool
on
to just get
planets
your
and the
hands on
sun.
something,
But
especially
today I'll be sharing newer
something that
findings from
might
more
have
obscure
life in
places,
it, dude.
like the first.
Speaking of which, recently they've been talking about the fact that Mars could actually have fucking life on it. It could have life, and that's something that I'm like super excited to see developments on, man. I'm so into that. I cannot wait to see it. It's apparently it's going to be like some kind of bacteria that revolves around what was it? I'm pretty sure it's what was it? Damn, I can't remember what they said it was. I'll have to go back to
Successful
that.
probe landed
But I know
on
it had
a comet
something to do with
and a
photosynthesis
supermassive
and
black
like
hole
actually finding
in the
plant
Perseus
matter.
cluster. Before we
Like
get
2
there,
years ago,
our
you went
first
on
stop
vacation to
this
Mars?
audio tour
Shit,
is a
man, I
little
think
closer
all of
to
us are
home.
going to end up on Mars
If
here
you've been
soon.
watching this
To
channel
be
for a while,
honest,
you
with the
might
way
remember
Musk
my
is
video
doing
on the
things, yeah,
sounds
we'll
of
probably end
Saturn.
up on Mars in a big
Here,
bubble.
I want to focus on its
I'm just saying.
spectacular rings, one of the landmarks of our solar
I
system.
would love that. I mean,
Saturn's
I'd give
rings are
anything.
made up
I mean,
of countless particles of rock
you can't
and
go to
ice.
places like Saturn
Most
because
of these
you know
particles
it's
are
a gas
electrically
giant,
charged,
but
mainly due
just
to the
touching
ionizing
it, just
effect
touching
of
it
solar
one time
radiation.
would probably
Saturn's
be like
magnetosphere is also
an
filled with
experience
charged
that you couldn't
particles,
replace anywhere
which are
else.
free to
You know,
move,
just touching it.
interact,
If
and
you could
form
touch it.
other complex phenomena. They aren't fixed in one place.
I'm honestly really
In a
surprised
nutshell,
there's a
when
bunch of
charged
people in here
particles
for
in
this.
Saturn's rings
I thought people
interact
would
with the plasma
see
in
this
its
and be like, "Oh
magnetosphere,
shit, this is
they
boring."
experience what's
Now we're
known
actually
as
getting
the
some
Lorentz
people in here.
force.
This is great.
This force makes particles spiral around the magnetic
I've
field
always been
lines
into this
and
stuff,
create
and it's actually working.
oscillations in the plasma, also known as plasma waves.
Dude,
In
interspatial
1997,
racism.
NASA launched the
Oh,
Cassini
don't even get
probe
me
to study
started.
Saturn
We're
up
talking about
close.
Space Marine,
One key
or are we
part of the
talking about
mission was to
Halo?
explore
Which one are we
Saturn's
talking about
ring
here?
of plasma
Because there's plenty of
interactions more
space
deeply.
racism out there,
As
like
the
tons.
spacecraft passed through Saturn's ring
And I'm all
system,
for it.
its radio and plasma wave science instrument recorded the waves produced by the charged particles in the rings. This instrument is incredibly sensitive, so sensitive it detected lightning in Saturn's atmosphere from thousands of kilometers away.
I'm trying to think of
Saturn's
like the really
thinnest
interesting
rings
videos
contain
that
dust
I've seen
particles just
recently from Astrum.
200 nanometers
I really like
large,
his videos,
the
and I wish
size
that I
of a
could support
virus.
him more by like, you know, actually giving him something like some subscribers or something. But I can't do that because I'm not that popular. But let's see, what was the other thing that I was trying to think of? It was recent too. Actually, you know what? I could go to the Dwarf 3. This is my goal, man. This is what I've been working for as a goal. I've been trying to get my hands on one of these, and I would give absolutely anything to just get out there and, you know, just sitting outside on the front porch with this, where
Hi
it's,
everyone,
you know,
this is Trevor
hitting
Jones
all
from
parts of the sky, so I can actually see things that are out there. Even if it's a little blurry, I'd take it, you know, because this is pretty cheap,
Dwarf
and I think
Labs
it's
sent me
doable.
a demo copy of their new Dwarf 3
My
smart
ex told me
telescope
she
for
needed some
testing,
space, so
and
I
I've been
threw her
playing
ass
with
into
it
the
since it arrived
stratosphere.
last week. I've had it out in the
Checkmate
backyard the last few
liberal.
nights for
Oh
some deep
God.
sky
You know,
astrophotography,
that's
and I'll share all of the images I've
Oh,
taken
God.
with it at the end of the
Don't even
video.
get me started, man. You don't want to see my actual main YouTube feed. It's ridiculous. It's constantly talking about stuff like if you laugh at this, you're liberal type of thing. It's kind of ridiculous how what's the word for it? Radicalized I've become over the years. There you go, radicalized. A bit
The
radicalized
Dwarf 3 is in
now.
the smart
Just a little bit.
telescope category of equipment. It combines a small telescope, an astronomy camera, and a computerized mount to track and photograph objects in space. It also features a secondary
Well, thanks for the
wide-angle
follow,
lens that can
man.
be
I
used
really
for
appreciate
daytime
it. Hell
photos and
yeah.
videos, as well as
This is
astrophotography.
working out.
It can
Oh,
find
God.
and track objects in the sky, and there are internal
This is what I
filters and
like about
stacking
this.
to help you produce.
Now, people keep telling me that, you know, doing the stacking is not the way to go. They keep telling me that using AI to like create these images is not worth the money that you put into it. And I kind of agree with them. I like the idea of using like a regular telescope, but I also kind of like the idea that AI is supporting these images. So it's like it might actually get them closer for all we know, you know? I'm just saying. I'm not
an
sure because
impressive
I've never
image.
actually
If you're
owned
like
one.
me
But
and you want to process the image yourself,
where's
you
the
have
good
the
parts on
option of
this,
saving
actually?
appeared using the Dwarf 3 for reference. There are
I need
two
to see the part where
built-in
he
filters
enhances them. This is the
an
stacking part that I was
astrophotographer can
talking
do
about.
with the raw sub-exposures. So what
This right here. So like this is supposed to be raw. This is supposed to be after he produced it, right? But with the raw imagery, it's not that far off. It's not. I don't really see a problem with this. It might be a cheap camera, but the fact that it isn't too far off after he produced it himself makes me think that it might just be worth it, you know?
I did here differently was
Even
I used
if
my own
it's a
stacking
cheap
software. It
telescope
was Deep
that
Sky
uses
Stacker
AI, I mean, it's
to
better than
stack
nothing.
the
I don't have
subframes
anything
that
at
I
all.
selected, only choosing the best ones. I also did, I removed the stars and put them back in. I did some blur
God, it makes me so
exterminator
happy to see
and
so
all
many
those
people in
cool
here
little
talking.
tricks we
Oh,
can do
shit.
these days. And it made quite a difference. It's much sharper. I adjusted the colors. And this is really only scratching the surface. This isn't even an hour on the Horsehead
Astronomy and
Nebula.
astrology.
So I think
Two
the
different
potential
things,
is
yeah.
really
I think
huge
astrology
for
is
some
like your zodiac signs. And astronomy is actually like the stars and stuff.
excellent images with this Dwarf 3. The Dwarf 3 is an impressive package. Its biggest
See, even this guy, he says that it's a great package. It doesn't come with a stand and it's like $600. But like he does this stuff professionally, and that's where I'm trying to get to. I want to be at that area before the end of 2026. I want to be able to go outside and be like, yeah, he says it's an impressive package. It's like $600. It doesn't come with a stand. I'm pretty sure you have to like, what was the other thing he said about it? He said that there was
that it's a smart telescope.
image processing afterwards. Yeah, that's like one of the things that you have to do consistently with this. So
it tries to do everything.
It has
a
its
tiny
negatives, but it has its
telescope, a small
positives
camera
too.
sensor, and a mount that can't track as well
Oh,
as
you
a traditional
sign me up?
equatorial
Hell
mount.
yeah, man.
However, it certainly makes the
My goal,
most
like I
of what it
said,
has.
it's
The
next
images
year,
I
at least
captured on
before the end
Dwarf
of next
3
year, I
were
want to be able to get
shockingly
out there
decent, and with the right
and share all of the pictures with whatever kind of community I can come up with. I just honestly didn't expect it to go so well already. That's fair.
processing and enough
From
data,
dwarves or
they
tall
could really
ones.
give DSLR images
I
a
love
run for
dwarves,
their money.
man.
The
You know,
battery
people say dwarves aren't real, but I mean, come on.
life
We
is
all know they
decent,
are.
but I used the Dwarf 3 on some really cold nights and it was draining quickly. To remedy this, I connected a portable power bank to keep the Dwarf 3 topped up all night long. The Wi-Fi connection to the Dwarf...
Now this is the part that I was like, what the fuck? Did he just say Wi-Fi connection? Did he really just say Wi-Fi connection? It's like, this is supposed to be something you can take out and take pictures anywhere. But you have to be connected to Wi-Fi? Bro.
3 is decent, but you definitely
it
can't
kind of
get
ruins it.
too
My
far
cat is
away
trying
from the
her
device
best
without
to
losing
climb
connection.
on my face
Story
right
of my
now.
life. I use the Dwarf
Yeah,
3.
this motherfucker, this Dwarf 3 requires a Wi-Fi connection. Yeah, that's ridiculous, right? And believe it or not, I've done a lot of research on a lot of them, along with Akame, and a lot of them require Wi-Fi, dude, and the ones that don't have, like, shitty programs. It's ridiculous.
Inside of the garage, about 10 to 15 feet away, and the connection was stable. I'm looking
I
forward
know,
to bringing this
right?
device to
But
some
I gotta
darker
try it.
skies to see how much
Got
better
to.
the images can get. If you're in the market for a smart telescope, it
You'd
is
be like,
very hard to
you'd
ignore
think it
the
would
features
just,
of
you
the
just
Dwarf
set it
3.
up and
In
look
my
up
tests, it performed
upstairs, but
extremely
it's not
well,
that simple.
and overall, it was a great first experience with a Dwarf Lab product. The hard part now is choosing which smart telescope is right for you. The fact that this one costs about the same.
So, Matthew, you said you really like, you're into space too, right? Is there anything interesting that you'd like to share that I haven't seen yet? Because I've been doing nothing but freaking research on this stuff for the past, like, year now, and I've seen a lot of cool things. Is there anything cool that you could think of? Because there's a lot. There's a lot. Astrum is just by far my favorite so far, because he's really good at explaining everything. I try to give him his perks too, because I'm kind of stealing from his channel. Diamond Rains on Neptune? Yeah, I've heard of that one too. If you want to know some pretty cool stuff, though, I got you. I've like I said, Astrum's got us, actually. I don't got us, Astrum's got us. I'm still working on trying to do some videos like this myself, but it's going to be a little bit before I can get around to that. But I think the cool one was finding out about Ton 618. That's a great one. Let's talk about Ton 618. If I can type. This one is insane. So Ton 618 is actually insane. Check this shit out. And this is a 3-hour video, so I'm going to go through it quickly,
there.
but
And welcome to Science
I also
for
think
Sleep,
it's AI.
where curiosity gets cozy and science takes the long
Yeah, okay.
and shifts from how large it
This
is
might
to
not be a
how
good
such enormity came to be.
Let's pick something else. Largest black hole in the universe, by the way. So the cool thing about this one, right, is that recently they've noticed something about Ton 618. It's getting bigger. Ton 618 is getting fucking bigger. From billions of light years away, we can see it getting bigger. It's getting bigger, dude. You know how long it takes the light waves to get to us?
Black holes.
It's going at the speed of light, traveling all the way to Earth so that we can see it. It could even be dead by now. We don't know. But it's getting bigger.
Iconic things in our universe. Their mind are tied next.
I really want to show you what it
Quasar
looks
was once
like.
thought to be blink
Astrum really talked
The
good
light
about Ton 618
sits
too.
approximately
And
10
the
it shines
comparison,
with an absolute
actually,
visual
is there like a
magnitude of
comparison
minus
video?
30.7. This number equates to the brightness of over 140 trillion suns, making it one of the brightest objects in the...
Yeah, so here, this is perfect. Okay, it's a comparison video.
The largest things in the universe are black holes. In contrast to things like planets or
Okay, come on.
stars,
Come on, YouTube.
they have no physical size limit and can literally grow endlessly.
Go and
Although
get
in
yours now with
reality,
a free
specific
nebula.
things need to happen to
Straight
create
fact.
different kinds of black holes.
I
from
didn't even
really
know
tiny
mini
ones
black
to
holes
the
were a
largest
thing.
single
Did you know
things in
mini
the
black holes
universe.
exist?
So how
Or
do
existed?
black holes grow? And how large is the largest of them all?
Oh yeah, I love this.
This video will not discuss how black holes work or how they form, since we've looked at that in detail in our black hole and neutron star series. You can check them out afterwards. For now, we're interested in Maid burst, when the universe than its neighbors haven't actually observed any yet,
Okay, here we
If
go.
they exist, they may even be the mysterious dark matter that holds galaxies together. Let's move on to the kinds of black holes that we know for sure
Primordial
are
black
out
holes.
there. Stellar black holes.
Oh, stellar black holes.
To make a black hole, we need to compress enough matter so that it collapses.
Extreme mass. Whenever you get a black hole, you're getting extreme mass. So this right here, this is our planet. This is another planet, okay? These two like to do this. They get really close and get into a death spiral, right? They get into a big death spiral. And then eventually they get so tiny on the death spiral that they connect to each other. And then all of a sudden, right? You got one big ginormous black hole, just like this. Now, with the black hole itself, based off of like a lot of CGI and the way that they do things, this is what it would look like if we were looking at it like on a map, right? It comes down under here a little bit, gets a little bit of that, and that's because it's actually turning space-time fabric, which is insane to me. It's just so cool to think that space-time fabric, that sentence is actually a real thing. Someone actually uses that talking about the stars, and they're like, space-time fabric, and I'm like, holy shit, this is like something out of a Marvel series. Spaghetti fight, yeah, straight facts. Anytime, like, imagine going into one of these.
Into itself. After
literally
that, the more
spaghettis
mass
you, yeah.
we throw at it, the larger it becomes. In today's universe, only
Just
the
like
most
this. See, look, he's
violent
gonna say
cosmic
it.
events can create the necessary conditions, such as the merger of neutron stars or when the core of a very massive star collapses in a supernova. To have a unit to work with here, we'll use the mass of our sun, about 2 million trillion kilograms.
That's a lot of kilograms,
The
bro.
smallest known black hole has
Weighs as
2.7
much as my
times the
mother.
mass of the Sun, which works out as a sphere around 16 kilometers in diameter, large enough to cover Paris. Another lightweight black hole is the companion to the V723 Mon red giant star.
Look at that! Look at that! Imagine trying to compare a difference here. I couldn't even fathom. This is just another sun. This ain't even the biggest black hole. Yeah, just get rid of Paris altogether.
This star is 24
Might as
times
well.
larger than our Sun, 30 million
We don't
kilometers
need
in
the
diameter.
Italians around.
And yet, it's thrown around by a
Oh
tiny
wait,
black
I just
hole
did a
just
racism. I mean the
17.2
French.
kilometers
I meant
wide.
French.
This tiny thing bullying the star is so much smaller that we can barely even show them in comparison. One of the largest known stellar black holes is M33X7.
That's insane.
It currently spends its time eating a 70 solar mass blue giant bit by bit.
That's the scary part too. They sit there and just eat away at anything that gets close enough to them. It just eats it up. Like it sucks it in. Literally like spaghettification like you talked about. Just eats away at it.
As all that stolen matter circles towards
Now,
the
if
black
one
hole,
decided to
like
pop
water
up
going
next to
down
our
a drain,
planet,
friction heats
same
it up
exact
to
thing would
temperatures
happen
high
to
enough
us.
to shine
And what's worse is that they could happen anywhere. And they can be smaller than the size of the tip of a pencil.
500,000 times brighter than our Sun. And yet, X7 is only 15.65 solar masses and 92 kilometers wide, just big enough to cast a shadow on Corsica. To grow much
Bro.
larger, black holes have to either devour a lot of stars, or better, merge with one another. The instruments that make it possible to detect these mergers are very new, so we're currently discovering a lot of exciting things. Like two massive black holes that we detected in a galaxy 17 billion light-years away. As they spun around each other violently, they released more energy in the form of gravitational waves than the combined light from all the stars in the Milky Way in 4,400 years.
Here's another cool fact about this, by the way. So, like, whenever two black holes merge together or two planets collide, they do two completely different things, believe it or not. They both gain more mass, but the way that they gain mass is different. Which is
The
pretty
new
interesting,
black hole
too.
they formed is about the size of Germany and is 142 solar masses.
God! The size of Germany. Our planet would be gone in a few seconds. It would, not even
And
that.
here,
I'd say
we
it'd
hit
be almost
a curious
instantaneous.
gap in scale. There are lots of black holes up to 150 solar masses, and then there's
Depending on how
nothing
close
for a
it
long
was.
time. until we suddenly hit black holes that are millions of times more massive.
That's
which is a
just a
bit
scale,
confusing
no, I
because
can't
we had
even
this
imagine.
idea that black holes are consistently growing and growing. But for the most massive black holes, this process is not fast enough to explain their existence today. The universe is simply not old enough for these supermassive black holes to have formed by eating stars and merging with each other. Something else must have happened. To explain how we got the largest black holes in the universe, we might need the largest stars that ever existed, quasi-stars. To get a sense of scale, we can compare them to the largest stars that exist today. Our sun is like a grain of sand next to them.
God.
We-
Yeah, there's no end to them. They could be anywhere, all over the place. There's probably hundreds of thousands in our galaxy that we can't even see. That's the scary part. And they could be the size of the tip of a pencil. That's the terrifying part. So recently, as a matter of fact, back in the 1970s, they sent out a satellite that was supposed to make it to a different galaxy, like a whole nother Milky Way, basically. And on its trip there, it actually got impacted by something that they didn't register on, like, their cameras and stuff. Like, the way that they're supposed to see what happened, they couldn't tell what it was. And what's terrifying is that they're thinking it was a miniature black hole that sped through the side of their satellite. They think a miniature black hole sped through the side of their satellite. It's been in space for over 40 years, and they think that something hit it the size of a miniature black hole.
Quasi-stars actually existed, but they're an interesting concept when it comes to
Yeah, I believe it.
supercharging
I
black hole
believe it.
development.
You probably hold
The
that
idea is
power.
that the matter in the early universe was so dense that quasi-stars could grow to
It's
thousands
definitely
of
you,
times
man.
the
What are
mass
you
of our sun.
doing out there, huh?
The cores of these
How are you
stars
even
might have been
launching shit
crushed
off
by their
like
own
that?
weight so much to actually collapse into black holes while the star was still forming. In contrast to stars today that would destroy themselves in the process, inside quasi-stars, a deadly balance could emerge. Gravity pressed the supermassive star together, feeding the black hole and heating the material falling in to such a degree that the radiation pressure kept the star stable. And so these quickly growing black holes might have been able to consume the quasi-star for millions of years and grow far bigger than any modern stellar black hole.
What's worse? It just keeps getting worse. I could go on all day. I gotta be quiet. I'm gonna let the video
Black
play
holes
and
several
actually
thousand
let you guys
times
watch
the mass
it.
of
I
the
gotta be
sun
quiet.
and wider than the entire
I'm too into
Earth.
this.
These black holes might have become the seeds for supermassive black holes.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So now we arrive at the kings of
They get
our
even bigger.
universe, the largest single bodies in existence. The centers of most galaxies contain a supermassive black hole, and they are monstrous.
Well, thank
In the
you,
Milky
Ami.
Way, we have
I'm glad you like the
Sagittarius A
input.
star, a supermassive black
Sagittarius. I love learning about this one. This one is insane. 4 million. 4 million. I forgot what this means, but 4 million of that unit. I'm pretty sure that this is like
hole with about 4 million solar masses that
solar
is
masses. Okay, I keep forgetting that M is solar masses.
calm and collected and just does its thing. We know it sits there because we can see a number of stars being thrown around by a seemingly empty spot. And despite its incredible mass, its radius is still only 17 times our sun.
That's the scary part too. So the fact that its radius could be only slightly bigger than our sun, that means that black holes could be just as heavy, if not heavier than this one, and be the size of half of our sun even, or even smaller than that. Black holes, they do get bigger, but their masses are insane.
Smaller than
It's
most
always
giant
insane.
stars, but millions of times more massive. Because supermassive black holes are so massive and located at the center of galaxies, many people imagine them as being a bit like the sun in the solar system, an anchor that glues everything else together and forces it into an orbit. But this is a misconception. While the sun makes up 99.86% of all the mass in the solar system, supermassive black holes usually only have 0.001% of the mass of their galaxy.
That's crazy to me. That's just crazy to me. The fact that they can be so tiny but do so much destruction is insane. They literally swallow solar systems, and they're less than this compared to our sun and our solar system.
the billions of stars in galaxies are not.
I also heard somewhere that if a black hole the mass of our sun replaced our sun in the solar system, the orbits of the planets would remain the same, but obviously there'd be no light. Yes, 100%, that is true.
Gravitationally
I've
bound to
actually
them.
read up on
Instead,
that too. I've
it's
heard a
the
little bit about
gravitational
what you're
effect
talking
of dark
about.
matter
I
which
didn't
holds
dive
them
super
together.
deep into that one, but yeah,
Many
I've heard about
supermassive
what would
black
happen
holes
if
aren't
we
gentle
replaced our
giants,
sun with
especially
a
when they're
black hole.
feeding on the clouds of mass in
And
their galaxy.
the fact that most
The one
of them
at the
would pretty
center
much
of
just
the
get sucked in is
BL30
pretty
galaxy
crazy.
is devouring so much material that it produces jets of plasma accelerated to near.
Quasars are pretty interesting too. I don't know if you know what a quasar is, but I like talking about quasars because they're basically just supercharged stars that, like they started in a collision, but the way that they collided caused them to spin rapidly, and they shoot out beams just like in this. It looks just like that, and they spin faster and faster, like thousands of kilometers or miles per second faster every second, and it's pretty insane. I like talking about quasars
the speed
too.
of light. If Earth were orbiting
Black
this
holes are
huge
just the
body,
one
it
thing
would
that
seem
everybody seems to be interested
115
in.
times larger than our sun in the sky, and we'd be burnt to a crisp in seconds by its glowing hot accretion.
Yeah, burned to a crisp in seconds if we replaced our sun with a black hole. We'd be burned to a crisp. The radiation would get to us before it even had a chance to suck us in, I
Disk.
guess.
At this point, black holes become so large that stars seem ridiculously tiny compared to them. The galaxy Cygnus A has a supermassive black hole with 2.5 billion solar masses and 14.7 billion kilometers wide, which would mean that if it took the place of our sun, it would swallow all the planets and stretch halfway to the edge of our solar system.
That's
It's
insane.
devouring so much mass and material that it churns its disk into a kind of magnetic funnel, spewing gas out, making tremendous radio lobes towering over the galaxy, 500,000 light-years in diameter. That's 2.5 Milky Ways wide.
I think I've figured out how I'm going to
pretty
do it,
large
Ami.
supermassive black hole sits in the galaxy
damn, I can't
Messier
talk.
87.
I think
It
I know how
has
I'm gonna do it now.
6.5 billion solar masses and
I'm
was
gonna
the
do them by
first black hole
sections.
we got an
So
actual
instead
photo
of just like going
or
all over
rather,
the place
of the
about
glowing
like certain
gas
things,
around the edge of a
I'm
menacing shadow.
gonna actually like
This
break
sphere
them up
of
into
darkness
sections and
is
talk
so
about
large
like the
that it
Andromeda
covers
system,
our entire solar
our own
system.
solar system,
And yet,
black
there is
holes,
a scale even above
nebulas,
these kinds of
different
objects.
types of quasars. I'm gonna do them by
Ultramassive black
sections
holes.
instead of just being like, oh, black holes, and
Now
quasars,
we
and
reach the
nebulas,
most
and all
massive
that. You know,
black holes,
I think I'm gonna
perhaps
do them
the
by
largest single
sections. That
bodies
way
that
we can
will
just have a
ever
talking
exist.
point for the day.
These black holes
Instead
have
of
eaten
bouncing
so
all
much
over.
that they've grown to tens of billions of solar masses, their gravity the engine for a quasar, an accretion disk shining brighter than thousands
like that
of
idea? That's
galaxies
good.
full of stars. So massive that they deserve a title of their own.
Ultramassive.
Ultramassive black holes.
They get bigger. They get bigger, bro. These black holes get bigger. You thought it stopped at like 50 billion times the size of our sun. No, apparently not. They just get bigger. It just keeps getting worse.
The ultramassive black hole at the center of
And none of these are near us. Why? How are we alive?
Galaxy OJ287 is 18 billion solar masses. It's so big that it has a supermassive black hole nearly 40 times larger than Sagittarius A star orbiting it. This thing defies imagination
the subject
and is really
idea,
hard to compare
Instead
to
of
anything.
just kind of throwing things
It
around,
can
it would be
comfortably
better to
fit
have
3
something
solar
to think
systems
about.
side by side.
Because I mean, you got to think space is kind of boring unless you have something specific to talk about. You know, like black holes.
Side of it. Let's end this insane competition and get to the King of Kings. Ton 618,
it can
a
be
black
fun.
hole that we can observe consuming galaxies worth of matter, is shining with the brightness
Ton
of 100
618, we
trillion
finally got
stars,
to it.
visible from 18 billion light years away. It has
18
an incredible
billion light years away. We can see it from 18 billion light years away. This is the one that keeps getting bigger, I think.
66 billion solar masses. A black hole so large that it would take light a week to reach the singularity after crossing the event horizon. About
Yeah,
11
the things
solar
that are
systems could
absolutely
sit inside of it,
mind-boggling are
side by
interesting to
side.
talk about.
It may very well be the largest
11 times our solar masses. 11 times that. And it already talked about the fact that anything that was even 1 times a solar mass could devour the entire galaxy if it really wanted to. Black holes move too.
single body in the
There's so
universe.
much to get into.
But in reality,
Oh my
it's
goodness, I
probably
don't even-
even larger. Since Ton 618 is so far away, we only see what it looked like 10 billion years ago.
10 billion years ago.
Black holes
It could
are
be,
scary
for all we
and
know. This is the worst part. They've already confirmed that it's moving. And it could be getting closer. We don't know. It might just be getting closer. That's the scary part.
Mysterious and gigantic. They'll be here after everything else dies and growing larger and larger. Okay, now let's do the trip again. From the smallest possible black hole all the way up to the largest.
Yep, here we go. We get a scale for it now, I think. Whew! Oh! There's Earth. That's how small they can be. You see that? You see how small they can be? That's just an example. It gets smaller. Look, hold on. Unicorn. I think this one's the tiny. What was this one? Primordial. This was the primordial ones that I was talking about. These are the ones that they say could be moving practically anywhere. Along with any other black hole, but this is the one that most people are afraid of because it's so small. It's almost unnoticeable in our solar system, even with our scopes and radiation, or radio waves. Earth. Earth is way down here, tiny, tiny. Largest star. If that motherfucker explodes, we're dead. The voice crack. Come on, man. There's no, don't do that. Don't do that. There's no need for that. No.
Let's try something new today.
There's no need for that.
Behind the Lies, a short behind-the-scenes.
Believe it or not, this
about the
isn't actually what I
necessary
sound like.
inaccuracies in this
I'm
video,
actually heightening
because it's
my
not
voice.
really actually
I do it
possible to
naturally.
rank
I don't
black
know why.
holes like trading cards. How so? Well, while we've catalogued millions
Oh,
of stars,
shut up,
we really
Ami.
only have
I'm
good
not
data
still
on a couple
growing.
of dozen black holes.
Well, maybe just a little
That's
bit,
because
but only
black
in
hole
certain
gazing
areas.
wasn't really
Mostly
a
my
thing until
toes.
50 years ago, and technically still isn't because we can't see black holes. We can only derive their properties from studying their gravitational effects on the matter around them, like the orbit of stars that come close to them. This effect depends on the mass of the black hole, which we can approximate
Ooh,
at the
oh
most
yeah.
basic level with
I
Kepler's
actually
laws.
forgot to mention.
But this comes with huge uncertainties and error
I don't
bars.
know if you
Then
would
we
be
have to
interested
convert mass to size
in,
next,
let's
which
say,
brings new
fucking,
uncertainties.
what was
For
it
example,
called?
we calculated the
Universe
radius from the
sandbox?
mass using the Schwarzschild
I don't know if that would be
equation, which for the
boring
sake
or
of
if it would actually be
simplicity assumes
entertaining.
black
I'm
holes
honestly
are
not
perfectly
sure
round
because
and don't
Universe
spin.
Sandbox,
The kind of
I'm
black
sure
hole
you've
that
probably
doesn't
seen
really
videos
exist.
on it before, but you just kind of like throw things in there and figure out what would happen if you did this with that kind of thing. I don't know if you've heard of Universe Sandbox or not, but I could also do stuff like that if you'd be interested.
The reality is that physics on these scales is a bit fuzzy. So some of the black holes we talked about here may be way smaller or way bigger. We just don't know for sure.
Oh yeah,
We shoot
100%.
around this problem by comparing
Ami,
different
how
sources
do
with
I-
different kinds of...
Speaking of which, Ami, I actually do need to figure this out with you. I haven't done this yet. So, how am I supposed to give you back your moderator position? Do you still have it? You should still have it, right? What happened to it? I mean, I know it's been a while, but... I'll go ahead and play this.
values and using different mass calculations to arrive at a standardized list that allowed us
Oh,
to be
okay.
as
How can I
accurate
fix
as
that?
humanly
Do you mind?
possible. You can look at all of
Real
this
quick.
in our source doc. As a result, this script was written with the tears of experts we drove crazy with our obsession for the best
Thank you.
values they could live with. In this process, tons of stuff
This is
got
way
cut
more fun.
and didn't make it into the final video. But luckily, we found a way to not waste all of it. We've created a lot of black hole merch, spanning the whole range from somewhat bonkers to more serious. This way, we get to explore a topic from different angles, and you get to continue having fun with black holes after this video ends.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll do, honestly. We'll just do it after. That's fine. It's okay. We'll figure it out, Ami. But thank you. But anyways, back to what I was saying about all this random bullshit that we're talking about. Black holes can be just as small as a pencil tip, and they can be just as big as unfathomable fucking sizes that could swallow the entire solar system in an instant. So... that's fun to think about, and I guess I'll go ahead and show you my feed just because. It's mostly bullshit. Some of it is about black holes and solar systems. Some of it's about dinosaurs.
It's time to get small.
Some of it's about like cats and other bullshit. Stardew Valley. It's just a bunch of random stuff. If you was curious, it's just a bunch of stuff. But a lot of it has to do with space. Like this one talks about what's inside of a black hole.
How many numbers would you need to describe
I could go on forever over this stuff, but how many people actually enjoy watching videos and just hanging out? You guys okay with just hanging out for real?
A similar exomoon orbiting a
Discord?
similar Earth in a different solar system, even if superficially alike,
I
would
got
have a
the
completely
Discord.
different pattern of asteroid impacts. To characterize each
do
precisely,
that.
at a minimum, we would need to give 2 coordinates, latitude and longitude, for every one of the thousands of craters, along with the size of each crater. Very rapidly, we find ourselves needing thousands of numbers to describe a moon, even before we start talking about the
you
chemical
guys are figuring
composition
it
of
out,
the
huh?
moon's surface
Alright.
and how that
I'll just let you do your
varies in
thing on me.
different
I know that you
regions.
don't have mod right now,
The
but
number of numbers
we'll get that
need
fixed
quickly
afterwards, I guess. I just
expands from
started the
thousands
stream
to
about,
millions
what, 45
and
minutes ago?
beyond.
Yeah, see, I ain't got nothing set up in here, man. That's how you can
is
tell
just a
I'm
moon,
brand new at this
one of the
stuff whenever it
comparatively
comes to,
more
like,
simple objects in
what
the
I'm going to do with the
cosmos.
channel.
How many
I
more
genuinely
numbers
think
would it
that
take to
doing
describe a planet,
the stars in the
star,
solar system, though, is going to be great.
nebula? Or indeed,
And
how many
I don't know
numbers
if I
would it
said it
take
already. I think I did, but like I said, my goal is to get the dwarf camera so we can actually take pictures for the channel ourselves and do stuff like that. What's another cool thing? Oh yeah, quasars. Quasars. God, I can't type. Galaxy Killer.
The universe
I like this
looks
one.
like a
This one's
vast
good.
empty ocean sprinkled with rare islands of galaxies.
You'll probably see a lot
But
of this on
is
this
an
channel, by
illusion.
the way. If I'm actually going
Just
to
a
stick
small
with
fraction of
the
all atoms are found in galaxies, while the rest is thought to be
the
drifting
astronomy
in between
and the
in
astrology.
the intergalactic medium. Like the roots of some massive tree, gas spreads out from each galaxy, gravity funneling fresh mass into this dense cosmic forest. Here in the intergalactic medium are the raw materials of creation.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good thing to talk about too, actually. Hold on. So, like, we've only just recently started getting a full scale of how the galaxy actually works, by the way. So, a lot of people figured it out back in, like, I think it was either the 60s or the 70s, that the system is way larger than what we thought, and our perceivable universe, let's say, for example, this is our perceivable universe, what we can actually see right now, okay? This is what we can see. This is going to be us, right here. Little bitty thing, right there, okay? That's us, right here. This is, well, that's actually pretty big, but this little bitty thing right here, that's us. Now, what they've been describing it as is like kind of like a noodle kind of thing. It's like a noodle, so it looks like it's like a bunch of this. It's like a bunch of this, right? And it's got a bunch of arms that span out all over the place, and they do stuff like this. It's kind of hard to draw it, but yeah, it goes all over the place and looks like this. So our little spot right here, our little speck, right? We're a little tiny thing. They've proven that all of our systems, including our own personal solar system, is slowly moving towards one general direction. So let me say that again. We're, as an entire solar system, right? A whole solar system moving in a general direction. Our galaxy is moving. And it's all going to one place. Not if I have anything to do about it. Yeah. I'm just saying, that's pretty terrifying in itself. The fact that we're moving and we're not like stagnant and staying still, and we're all going, like, all of these galaxies and solar systems around us that we can see are moving in the same direction too. What could that mean? You know? What could that even mean? My server has a link. Oh, okay. How do I get that? Where is it? Sorry, hold on.
Hydrogen and helium,
Try to figure this out.
woven
Oh,
into
you mean like
sheets
my
and
actual
filaments
server?
that flow into
been a while
galaxies
since I've
where
been
they
on there, bro.
eventually create stars. But if we look closely, we
that what
see
you mean?
who's actually in charge. Quasars, the single most powerful objects in existence. As small as a grain of sand compared to the Amazon River, they reside in the centers of some galaxies, shining with the power of 1 trillion stars, blasting out huge jets of matter, completely reshaping the cosmos around them. They're so powerful
Oh,
that they
okay, I
can
see it.
kill a
All right, yeah.
galaxy.
My bad, my bad.
What are they, and how do they
The
mold?
sun's right there. How do I laser the sun?
Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, all right, I get. Okay, I show speed, huh?
I killed the sun. Now it's
Okay.
like the galaxy in 2-point algae. With no sun, the radiation turns into another dust.
Oh my
Now,
god.
chemicals and cynicals that come up. And that's 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, gas. Solid, liquid, gas comes into another constant virtue.
Damn, is he all right?
To another constant virtue, it comes photosynthesis, and that's where hypotheses come into play. Hypothesis.
Hypotheses?
You know, gold, serum, all that. The you know, it's all, like literally all of that, bro. That all comes to play.
Photosynthesis?
Where if, like, chat. Now, seriously, if there's no sun, our Earth cannot. Our Earth is on an orbit. It revolves every 24 hours. That's why the sun's coming to another constant virtue.
I do like I show speed,
The
to be
sun-
honest.
oh,
He's
the
funny.
sun's right there.
I think he's pretty funny. I haven't
How do I
seen much of his
laser the sun?
content, but I do like seeing his clips every now and then. That was actually pretty cool. I like that. The fact that he just blew it up is crazy to me.
I killed the sun.
He lasered the shit out of it, and he was like, I killed it? Yeah, man, it's gonna explode. It's like, what did you expect? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If doing like Universal Sandbox is something that you'd be interested in, I wouldn't mind doing that at all. My cat is attacking my legs right now. I'm sorry. Can I hold on? Hold on. He's literally attacking my feet. He's going crazy. Give me just a sec. Sorry. Come on now. What are you doing? You know what, Ami, that's a good point. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the video, and then I'm going to go back to taking my short break. So, hold on. Let me just turn off my my model so I can continue the video for
All
you
the
guys while I'm
structure of
gone
the
for a
universe
sec.
at their
Sorry.
whim.
That's a good point, Ami. Let me just do this. There you go. I'll be right back.
Everywhere you look, weird things in the sky. In the 1950s, astronomers noticed mysterious loud radio waves coming from spots all over the sky. They were named quasi-stellar radio sources, or quasars, because they were dots like stars but were seen in radio waves rather than visible light. Everything about them was strange. Some flickered, others emitted high-energy X-rays in addition to radio waves, but all seemed to be tiny. They all moved extremely fast, as much as over 30% the speed of light. The only explanation was that they must have been so distant that their apparent speed was actually the expansion of the universe moving them away from us. But these enormous distances meant that quasars couldn't just be stars, but the active cores of galaxies billions of light years away. And it gets crazier. To appear so bright and loud, given these vast distances, they are thousands of times brighter than the entire Milky Way. Monsters exploding and screaming into the void with a violence not thought possible before. As we mapped the sky, we discovered over 1 million quasars, and they all seemed to be very far away. Looking into space far away means very long ago, because light takes so long to reach us. Quasars were common in the early universe, having peaked in number 10 billion years ago when galaxies and the universe itself were still very young. Let's go back in time just 3 billion years after the Big Bang and see what was going on back then. The incredible power of quasars. How could an early baby galaxy be so incredibly bright and violent? All that light and radiation couldn't be stars, as there weren't nearly enough of them. And since galaxies tend to grow with time by merging, the starlight from small galaxies shouldn't be far brighter than any galaxy today. There's only one way to generate the vast amounts of energy a quasar shines with: feeding supermassive black holes. We still don't know how exactly they formed, but it seems that every galaxy has one in their center. But how can the brightest things in the universe be black holes which trap anything and everything that crosses their event horizon? Well, the light of a quasar is not coming from inside these black holes. Rather, it comes from the space around them, a massive orbiting disk of gas called an accretion disk. Quasars use the same fuel as stars to shine: matter. It's just that black holes are the most efficient engines for converting matter into energy in the universe. The energy released by matter falling into a black hole can be 60 times greater than that released by nuclear fusion in the core of a star, because the energy released by a black hole comes from gravity, not from nuclear reactions. Matter falling into a black hole speeds up to almost the speed of light before it crosses the event horizon, buzzing with an incredible amount of kinetic energy. Of course, once inside the black hole, it takes that energy with it. You only get to witness this energy if you drop your matter in the right way. Fall straight down and the outside universe gets nothing. But when you have a lot of matter, it spirals in incredibly fast towards the event horizon, forming a disk. Collisions between particles and friction heat it up to hundreds of thousands of degrees. In a space not much bigger than our solar system, the core of a galaxy can release many times more energy than all its stars combined. This is what a quasar is: a supermassive black hole having a feast. And these black holes eat a lot. Typical quasars consume 1 to 100 Earth masses of gas per minute. 10 billion years ago, the universe was about a third of its current size, so the intergalactic medium was much less spread out, meaning the filaments of gas around quasars could feed them a banquet, making them vomit insane amounts of light and radiation. The brightest quasars power jets, tangling the magnetic field of the matter around them into a narrow cone. Like a particle accelerator, they launch enormous beams of matter out, plowing through the circumgalactic medium, forming plumes of matter that grow to hundreds of thousands of light years in size. It's almost unfathomable in scale. A tiny spot in a galaxy carving out patches of the universe hundreds of thousands of light years long. But quasars can't eat for long, maybe a few million years, because their feast ultimately kills their galaxy. How quasars kill galaxies. Okay, maybe killing is a bit of an exaggeration. A galaxy is still there after its quasar turns off, but it will never be the same again. Quasars, being among the hottest and brightest things in the universe, break their galaxies by heating them up too much and stopping star formation. Stars are gas that collapsed in on itself and then got really hot, But in a cloud of gas that's already hot, atoms are moving quickly. When they collide, they hit hard, exerting pressure that resists gravity's squeeze. So hot gas cannot form stars. Instead, the best gas for forming stars is already cold and won't put up a fight when it's time to collapse into a star. On top of that, quasars push gas out of their galaxies. Not only does this starve the quasar, but its galaxy loses the raw materials for new stars. As sad as this sounds, it might be a good thing for life. See, loses the raw materials for new stars. Far more dangerous. Too many stars. New stars forming is usually followed by massive stars exploding in supernovae, so planets would be burned sterile. But of course, it's more complicated. Like the intricacies of our own planet's biosphere, every piece of the galaxy is dependent on and influencing every other part of the galactic environment. While hot things like quasars and supernovae tend to push gas out of the galaxy, shockwaves and quasar jets can also compress gas, making new stars at least for a short time. But in general, we can say that without things becoming a bit more chill, we would not exist today. Which brings us to our final question. Did the Milky Way have a quasar in the past? It's unclear if every galaxy went through a quasar phase, but understanding distant quasars may provide clues to the history of the Milky Way. Galaxies don't do a good job of preserving their history.
There we go.
Like sand on a beach, the endless churning makes
Thank
us
you
aware
guys
of
for
clues
being
to their
patient.
past. It's possible the
I know
Milky
you
Way
love
was
having
once a
my
quasar, which
really
may have allowed
bad
our
spatial
supermassive black hole
information input
Sagittarius
around.
A star to have grown to 4 million times the mass of the Sun.
Okay.
And
I think
as
he's kinda
dormant as it
repeating
is
himself
now,
on these two,
Sagittarius A star
So let
could
me
turn
check
into a
this one here.
quasar in the future. In a few billion years, the Milky
Oh,
Way
yeah!
will merge with Andromeda.
That's crazy too, the fact that we could actually merge with another galaxy. So, I mean, it makes sense because, you know, two separate galaxies coming together, if it's just a void in between, it's, you know, it's just two voids connecting, but still, I thought that was interesting that we could do
quasars
that
and
too.
galaxies smashing
That
together.
means that if
where
there's
fresh
aliens
gas is
coming from this galaxy and they meet up with our galaxy because galaxies moved, like we talked about earlier, then we might actually get some Halo Covenant members coming up in this bitch, if you know what I mean.
provided for the central black holes. But it won't
Maybe
last
get some
for long.
Warhammer.
When galaxies merge, so do their supermassive black holes, sinking into the center of their new galaxy, kicking up dust and stars in every direction. We don't know whether this will happen,
I was getting
but it will
hacked.
truly
Yeah,
be
it
an
probably
incredible
did
sight.
look like that.
Maybe some beings in the far future are going to witness it and be in awe
The cat's
of
back
what
to
they
attack
see.
my feet again.
But you don't have to wait that long. There are already plenty of fascinating things to explore right here on this planet, right now, if you have the knowledge to
Oh
understand.
yeah, he's about to tell us to go touch grass, basically. So I'm gonna skip this part. No offense to you, dude, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead and see if there's anything else left in this video. Definitely go check out this channel though if you haven't already. I don't want to just borrow content and then not actually give perks to the actual creator. So I like to make sure that I show that on screen right here. Just in case, you know. But yeah, quasars. That was just something quick about quasars. Again, thanks for holding out for me for a second there. I don't know if I should probably keep this like I don't know if I should keep these videos short or if I should just keep posting at this at this rate, you know. Cuz I feel like an hour is pretty solid for like, you know, space stuff, right? What do you think, Akame? I feel like an hour is pretty solid. Maybe a little longer for like other things, but you know, I don't want to get too into it all the time. But hey, Matthew, thank you, by the way. Thank you for coming in and giving me a follow. I really do appreciate that. And I hope you come around some more on our journey to get to the dwarf system. Yeah. Once we fucking get our hands on something cool like that, I promise, I swear, there is going to be a Discord chat. There's going to be a whole fucking website for this shit where nothing but our people can post like what they find outside and stuff, you know, stuff like that. And I'm gonna post it in every day. It's gonna be a whole thing. I can't wait. That's what I'm aiming for, you know. it's not too taxing. I know I had to bounce for a few minutes there, but it was just, you know, I'm just trying to think about how I want to do all this stuff. I finally, before I even started streaming this, I finally got it to actually play the audio and stuff like it's supposed to, but it was being pretty complicated at first. It wasn't even wanting to work for me. But yeah, we eventually got it working, and I'm glad that I got a couple people coming in here today and saying hi to me, and I hope they stick around. I hope to see y'all again, and hopefully we can get to that dwarf system one of these days. If I can get like up to what was it? I think the goal was 500,000 500,000 in chat redemptions. I was just gonna buy the system outright somehow, but obviously I made it ridiculously hard to reach that goal on purpose. But you know, but that's the goal. That's the goal. But again, it was really great to have a couple people coming in here and saying hi, and I hope you enjoyed the first video. There is going to be a lot more coming in after this soon, so I hope to see you again, and I think we're going to call it for today, actually, just because it took so long to get started. But I do appreciate you coming in. You too, Ami. Thank you so much. I'm glad we got your moderator position figured out. I'm going to post pretty much underneath the same tag every time whenever I do this video. But there's also a gaming channel if you're interested into that, by the way, Matthew, as well. So I actually do some random gaming. Like yesterday, last night actually, I played some Dragon's Dogma 2 and got some pretty exciting moments in there with some chatters as well, and that was nice. So we had a whole bunch of old friends of mine come in, like Nova and Roxius and Ami. She's still here. So that was great. So if you're bored and want to know more about what I've been doing, you know, I've always got that channel up too. Mostly on YouTube, but it's also on Twitch if you're curious. And I think that'll do it. Yeah, I think that's about it for the first successful astronomy stream. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later. We'll probably do a raid too. Let me try to figure it out how to do the raid real quick. I think it's just /raid. Yeah. I think I can remember how to do the raids. Let me go ahead and do this right here. Let me see. We'll go ahead and look for a... Let me see. We'll look for another streamer together because that's more fun. Let me just go ahead and bring this up. Hello. I don't like how Twitch forces you to play videos nowadays. Okay. And then I'm gonna have to do /raid at... Who should we pick? Alright, let's actually go into a category here, right? Just chatting. I like rating other VTubers, that's fun. Recommended just chatting. Drops, roguelikes. I also like picking people that don't have that many people in it because, you know, starting out's always going to be difficult, bro. I mean, look at this channel. I was genuinely surprised to see somebody actually come in with, like, just come in and stick around for so long, to be honest. Should probably go for something like, let's see. Elden Ring Nyran seems to be like a big thing for everybody right now. Hollow Knight's always going to be good. Ooh, I wonder how the Don't Starve community is doing. I like this. This seems good.
Okay, so easy.
Yeah, I like this one. Oh my goodness. Of course it's not set up already. I need to like take more time to do these things before I hop into these things.
Es un fucking sombrero, ¿no?
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Y sabe que ya tenemos 2 puentes, ya yo me voy de que para allá para buscar la casa.
Tenemos tres, manito.
Español.
Ya tú sabes.
De una vez. Ya podemos llegar a sitios un poquito más directos. Jordan.
I want to order something.
Yeah, there we go. I gotta change these things, bro.
Ay, Dios mío, Dios mío.
I'm your AI dream girl.
See what I mean? I'm your AI dream girl. There we go. Jeez, took long enough, didn't it? Finally.
Ay, la mano. Ay, la mano. Ay, la mano. Ay. No se la llevaron. Ay, la mano. Y estuvo de pie.
There we go. Alright.